Hey guys, let's look at a game where I played poorly. Um, I want to use a correct adjective here. It's not just poorly, because it's like, yeah, well, that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. But unfocused, hopefully it'll define itself. Okay, I'm white, giving 2 stones to a 2Q. Should be a very easy game for me. I have no problem with this. This is fine for white. This isn't bad for black, getting a wall in Gote. Especially with the 2 handicap stones sitting there. It does give white the opportunity to negate it next move, something like this. But it's not a loss in points. I went this way. It's fine. Now, I can play on the bottom, but notice this black move is very nice. Works wonderfully in the corner. And now there's no particular move like this that's, oh, I'm perfectly fine. And it's going to be pretty tight no matter what happens. So it's a really good move for black. I come up here, very logical next move. So far, everything's fine. Next, I can draw my picture on top, which we see is not what you call practical. I'm not taking any points. I'm just suggesting it's going to be hard for black to come in, which is great. It's not a problem. And it's also a fourth line move to reduce what black can accomplish in the center. So this may well be the best next move. I just have the habit of settling my groups. Okay. So black's growing all his stuff. Time for me to come in. Making these exchanges would just be pretty much game losing, right? I don't get that many points, and he's getting his influence is too much. Okay, so time to do something. Let's look at, and this is where I start going wrong. Okay, we're looking at area 1, and we can draw a line from here to here, this kind of line. It's like on the right side, it's not just this, he can do more. And then we have the next potential, which is kind of this one. So we have the right, area 1, and we have the bottom, area 2. Now this is just in general picture. Now, it seems obvious, and I don't know why I didn't do it. But step 1, give it a push. It's almost double sente, certainly reverse sente, because he doesn't want me to Hane, come out again. I'm totally hurting his wall on top. So he's really going to want to defend that. So in that one exchange, there really is no area 1 anymore. It's all one big area 1. At which point I can just come in and negate it. That would be appropriate. Does that mean black did something wrong? No, Black's still 2 full stones ahead, but I'm not giving him the opportunity to increase that. Okay, so let's look at what I did. I came in here. This is about as far away as you can get from area 1 and still be touching it. We can almost say I'm not playing in area 1. So he just pinches. Nice loose pinch, taking gobs of points. The difference here is really something. So let's look at this one. If he does the pinch, that's way too close to the wall. Let me go one further out here. This really is too close to the wall, and I get a very pleasant shoulder hit. And this way, and that makes no sense, I just come in with this as a backup. So it's going to be very hard to bother this black stone, white stone. So we've got the choice, A or B. And when I play on this account, I'm just, for the most part, throwing stones down. And it's commonplace that the game will evolve into a really good teaching game where I get to show my students and say, well, what's the right play here? Where do they're like, well, I don't know. Well, let's figure it out. Because to me, that's all, let's figure out the move. There's a process where we can find great moves all the time. But on this one, the opposite thing happened. I didn't, as I'm just putting stones down, he's not. He's thinking about his moves. And he took those 2 stones and made them into 4 or something. I don't know. He just gained and gained. It's like, oh my God. It was just because I wasn't thinking. And he was. It made a world of difference. So I play here. He does the pinch. I got to get out. He builds a beautiful center. I sneak under, the appropriate move. I press, appropriate. And the next move I played, I was completely unconfident. It's like it seemed so slow, but it also seemed necessary. I checked with AI, and AI said, oh, of course, that's the only move. I said, well, great. I had my questions. Little tiny turn here. But if I don't make the turn, he gets the turn in Sente. Now, his corner's real, and my eyes aren't so much. Well, he does it in Sente, too. So I do the turn, and now my life is near certain, not absolutely certain, but near certain. And I have cute little moves like this. If he tries to stop me, his corner's very weak here. So I love it. And I'm glad it was correct. Okay. He comes out. Not great. Fifth line is not good for points. And his fifth line isn't good for securing his corner. It's only good for pressuring my group. But my group is, I want to use the word alive. But he faked me out. Oh, he's applying pressure on my group. I'll go ahead and make sure my life is good. Because if he comes down, not only is he picking up 5+ points, but it's going to mean I only have one eye. It's Sente. Okay, so I'll play reverse it. It's so slow. If he lets me come in, I'm not weak or anything. I'm sorry, he's not weak. It's not big points. I'm not reducing much. So the first one here, oh yeah, that's very powerful. I'm coming up oh yeah, big powerful move. But the next one, not. But he faked me out with, he's pressing me. And I'm like, oh, he's pressing me, I better defend. There's no need to. So he picks up a whole move. Anywhere he wants. He could pick it up here. That's big. My move, near zero. Let's call it 10% maximum. His move, big. The difference there between A and B, that's what I usually do to the 2Qs. I'm the one thinking and saying, oh, that's not worth much. I'll play this one. And bam, I've gained. And then I gain again. Then I gain again. And pretty soon I'm well ahead. It's like, but here it's reversed. Like, why did I play A? So he gets a free move. He puts it here. It's a mistake, but it's okay. Here, I make another mistake. So I'm thinking, let's surround him. And he'll probably live in the corner with a few measly points. And it was probably cockiness and ego that said, yeah, I've got some cuts, but it's really no big deal. Well, I've actually got quite a few cuts, making his life sente probably. Instead, I should be playing this one, 0 cuts. And if he saves, please live in the corner. Corner becomes small and gote, and I end up with sente and good shape. And let's just imagine him living here. We'll just say that's alive. Then all of a sudden things are working out so well for me. Instead, I play here again. So I had a friend, and we grew up in Go together. We were 1Q at the same time, 1 Dan at the same time, 4 Dan at the same time. And we used to, right around when we were 1 Dans, we used to experiment with different things. One thing we experimented with was giving each other a 6-stone handicap. And the strangest thing would happen. Whoever got the 6 stones might win. That's impossible. It was about a half a stone stronger than me. And I might win if he gave me 6 stones, or he might win if I gave him 6 stones. It's like, what in the heck's going on here? It felt like magic, right? And we started to discover that if you don't use your stones, they don't mean anything. Now, that might sound incredibly stupid. Like, well, of course, everyone knows that. Well, you gotta, if you don't use your stones. So here I am getting all weak on purpose. Why are you getting so weak? That's not the correct use. And he's like, great, well, I'll just give you a ton of cuts. He's using his stones really well here. And I should capture it this way. Makes a small difference. And now I start to reduce him. Let's talk about how I made this choice. Assuming we want to come in, which I still agree with, the most obvious move would be here because it threatens to connect under. It's a free move. So let's say that exchange happened. Now, where do I want to play? I don't want to just walk out because that's a slow, heavy way and it's difficult to live. Instead, we want a nice, fast jump like that one, or maybe one less. So when I play here, the plan is this is coming up. So if he surrounds me, well, let's put in the surrounding move first. He does the surrounding move. How do I live in there? Oh, I'll use two moves in a row. 1, 2. And with two moves in a row, he's concerned, can I escape? Because it's a pretty narrow, pretty thin perimeter on the left. Lots of room in the center. So that's the mindset here, is that I have the second move in mind. He does surround, I do it. And I was out of sorts in this sequence. I really should just be playing the obvious move. With this, I don't want to use the word thickness, with this wall, that doesn't sound right either. Is it a wall? Is it thickness? With this pleasant structure, I can go in direction 1, direction 2, where there's a cut, direction 3, direction 4. I can get a base at 5. There are many things this structure can do next. This is good. But I was just not thinking. Okay, we're doing our thing here. At this point, it looks like I'm just alive. This can't be cut. Yes, it can be. I thought it couldn't. Huh, talk about not thinking. This can be cut. I was sure it couldn't be cut. Funny. Shows you how much I wasn't thinking. Okay. And then I do the living. Okay. AI says, oh, just play away. You're already alive. Wow. Yeah, I'm unwilling to look at this shape and claim life. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I should have seen something earlier. And here it's looking more like life. Maybe here's a time for me to ignore. I don't know. But I went ahead and did all the living when I could have played away according to AI. Okay, so we're to here. And I invaded his area. Usually, if you live in someone's area, it's Gote. I, according to AI, I could have lived in Sente, but all the same, here we are. And his cutting stone at B can run away. So my A group is at risk. Now, as it stands, I can either capture the cutting stone or live on the left. So at the moment, it's not a problem. So here's another time that I didn't think. Instead, I thought, well, I played C in order to make his corner weak. If I do my C business and he ends up, getting a nice wall as I take away the corner, just as a thought, I can still do my work on the left. Well, that statement is just filled with moronic assumptions. The correct way of thinking about it is he can get any move around here in Sente because I've got to come back and take. I must remove his Sente with something, anything like anything. Live on the left. It's big, times two. A black move there, huge. A white move there, very big. But no, I'm going to go ahead and do a corner thing that I've been waiting for. Makes no sense. I would say every 10 casual games I play, it's like all wrong. Everything about it. And I find that fascinating that I'm still there. Okay. So I'm stuck to my plan. The problem is I don't need these two Blackstones. They're only 4 points in Gote. I'm already alive. So he gets Sente again. What was I thinking? Each week I go over my students' homework and they show me games just like this. And I'm like, well, weren't you thinking? And they're like, apparently not. And it's the sort of thing that it's so easy to not think. So what I do for them is, homework once a week. This is such a hard task. Only do it once a week. The task, play one game where you really try to think, apply the process every move. That's hard. I usually suggest they do it against a computer. So time is set it to 0, meaning all the time you want. You can walk away, have coffee, have breakfast, come back the next day as long as you want and come back and try to consider where should I play. And then once you're done, review the game by yourself and figure out what basic things did I miss and how would I correct them. And then we go look at that game together and we get to see your thinking process and we get to correct your moves and your thinking. So here I am, just not thinking. Now, a lot of his moves are kind of slow. True, but I'm playing so badly. So I'm like, see, I knew I could get back here. Give me a break. Now, granted, I played plenty of moves that aren't so bad, but I also played plenty of moves that I'm just behind. I don't know, 15. I'm 2 stones behind, exactly, if I recall. And I just never gained any of them back. Okay, we can call it quits there. I resigned eventually because I think I resigned, whatever it was, I was well behind and just no way to make it up. Okay, the moral of the story is try to think about your moves. Okay, guys, catch you later.